June 4th, and I thought I'd come out and check on these gals here. Oh, you're looking pretty, girls. I know, that's really good pasture. Don't worry, hopefully. So we're hoping in the next couple of days to sort off the yearlings that we want to keep and bring them down to join these girls. Because this pasture should be able to keep these girls, which there's like 35 of them, and then the additional 50 some, 60 yearlings that we're going to keep as replacements. Should keep them most of the summer. So, and we're hoping to then take the fence and bring it up to here to give them even more pasture as the summer goes on. But to do that, we have to move them out of it because they won't have a fence on one side. So some projects to do this summer, but we've got rain forecasted 100% tomorrow at around noon. So I'm just gonna go out here and check on the alfalfa that we took down yesterday. And now we're thinking we probably should have taken it down on Monday, but then it would have given it more time to dry. But we'll bale it up because if it gets rained on, it's gonna sit there and probably not be good anymore. So we'll bale it up, put probably a heavier concentration of the inoculant on it, and hope for the best. Usually alfalfa needs to be laying down for at least a couple of days to get the stems at least dried down, and it should be like in really hot, dry weather that it does that. But it's gonna be like last year. We do what we can. Let's check this. This was starting to bloom, and for us, waiting the additional couple of days to take it down was probably going to ruin this for our purposes. Oh, that is still way too wet. Come on, wind. The outside edges are starting to dry, and on top is starting to. So usually we come out here when it dries on the top and we rake it up and kind of flip it over so then it dries on the bottom, and then we bale it. Well, the grass is not even dry. Eee. We'll see. And sometimes putting it into a windrow, if it's going to rain, will at least protect it to a certain point. But as soon as it stops raining, then you got to go and flip it over. But we have gotten so much rain that even just a little bit of rain will soak the ground. And then you're just flipping a windrow over onto something that's already soaking wet. So this might be a wash. We only get a couple of bales off of this one anyway. So this is a little bit of our tester field. And of course, the goats are out with their babies. Boy, those babies are getting big. Your babies are getting big. At the end of this month, we're gonna wean them. And the does look amazing too. The pasture has been really good. So that's one thing to be really thankful for with the rain, is that the pasture is really, really good. end of June, we take our hay down. A lot of people wait because it's just not much of a concern for them to take it down when it's the most nutritional. It's a huge concern for us. Taking it down at the end of June for us locks in a lot of the nutrients and gives it a higher carbohydrate content, higher sugar content, all of that good stuff that the goats really like. So, and actually the goats like it better when it sits for a year in a bale and then they eat it. It's strange, we can't explain it. Goat logic, I guess. But yeah, you can see how green that pasture is because we keep goats on it, and they do wonders for a pasture. They really do. They don't squash it down in large areas like cattle do, and they fertilize it nicely and evenly because they just continually move when they graze. So even though this has been their favorite corner because the wind's coming out of the south, so the south corner is their favorite corner. Hi girls, don't you guys look pretty? Don't you look pretty? Are we doing better, Whiskey? Yeah, we had a goat that's kind of got a tummy ache or probably a worm infestation, so we had to catch her and treat her again. We'll see if she comes out of it. Sometimes they don't, and that's just the nature of raising livestock. So I'm gonna drive on down to our south quarter. We just got this planted on June 3rd, past the deadline of course, but again, so wet that we haven't been able to plant. So this is my brother's field that he rents out, and they were able to get that planted before the big rain came through, and that's looking really good. The corn doesn't take long to emerge, and the rule of thumb, of course, is your corn should be knee-high by the 4th of July, and so that should be, but that's not our field. This is our field up here, and we're gonna have to get some hot days for it to get up and be tall enough. Yeah, because it's basically just looking like an empty field now. The first couple of rows got planted before the big rain, but anything beyond that got planted yesterday. So we'll see. We'll see. Farming is always a gamble, and sometimes it doesn't always pay off. All right, now I gotta go back down to the other place, drop off some buckets, and then I gotta head into town and pick up my crew, and we gotta go check some trees to see if they're thriving or not before we lay down fabric. Alright, Monday, June 9th. It's been a little bit since I videoed, but decided needed to get the camera back on. So right now, or we had previously been walking the mamas and the babies out to pasture, and that was going well, but now the babies are getting to the point where they need to be heading into the creep feeder, and the problem with putting them out on pasture is they don't want creep. So we're dry lotting them again for a little while, and later this week we're going to deworm all the babies, and then we're going to take them off the mums and get them weaned, because they're starting to really pull the moms down, and they're big enough where they should just be on their own. And again, it's kind of different every year on when we decide to do that. Last year we left the doelings on their moms for, I think it was like 4 months. Hi, Red. Yeah, I know. Let's go out and fluff your hay. Looking good after we gave everybody copper boluses. So it is like a 65-degree day today. It's a little chilly, and we're getting a lot of the smoke from Canada today because we've got a north wind blowing in. I think we're supposed to get rain today, but yesterday and the day before we took down a whole bunch of our alfalfa because tomorrow it's supposed to be a 90-degree day, and that means it'll probably all dry. We can get it raked, we can get it baled. Unfortunately, I have work tomorrow, so the crew out here is just gonna have to do without me until I'm done with work. But evenings are long, so that's always a nice thing. Was kind of hoping that we were done with doing this, because this is hard on your back and your shoulders. Hopefully this will be just for a couple of days. We have to free up some pasture, and what that entails is that we have 50 head of goats going to Kentucky on Wednesday. If the trucker doesn't break down like he did last year and have to push it back again. So yeah, this is a problem we run into when we have this many goats, is getting everything done in a timely manner. Oh boy, that's a nice bale. Gracious sakes, you guys. It's easier to do when you're not trying to surround me. So when we wean the babies, they will stay and be dry lotted in these pens. The mamas will get pushed out to pasture, and the red barn over there will then be their shelter. We'll see if that works. Last year we sent the mamas up to my brother's place, because then they had this whole field between them and the babies, so the babies weren't standing here at the end of the pen trying to get out with their moms. I still think that's the best option, but we'll see. Hi, Dink. So we're hoping to get them weaned off and worked. And oh, okay. Why'd we do this? Why'd we do this? Okay, no, don't fight too bad. Oh man, this pasture is really... We could put all the goats in here for a couple of months and they wouldn't get this down. This is where our fall kidders are. This is their building. Oh, they didn't eat all of it this time. Oh, the other day I put some, when we put some in, and then I came back the next day and they had drained it all. It's all right. Put some fresh stuff in there. But we put a lot in there. Yeah. They're definitely finding it, so that's always good. All right, June 10th, and it got up to 92 degrees today. We took this alfalfa patch down 3 days ago, and then it was just cold and overcast. And today it got hot enough, so we got rain forecasted tonight, next couple of days. Hopefully it's not a lot, because our big patch needs to be taken down. So the little patch that was out there, and then these two small patches, we got 60 bales off of. So not bad, not bad. If it would just quit raining every couple of days, it would make it a lot easier. But we did use the inoculant on it, so I'm gonna have to pick some of this loose stuff up with the little trailer. And there are our yearling keepers, and then our 2 to 3 year old fall kidders, enjoying the shade. But I tell you what, when it's this hot out, goats love this weather, don't you girls? Oh, good, Whiskey, you're looking much better. Hi, girls. Oh, we got a limper. Now we'll have to check on her tomorrow. So yeah, once it quits raining, we'll take this patch and the patch on the other side of those trees down, the big patch. Yeah, this is a lot of hay. So the guys are heading down to our hay yard to bale that up, because last year we kind of forgot to do that before we had to start hauling hay bales in. That was not a good thing. So now we're unloading the inoculant for the alfalfa. It's nice having pallet forks for attachment, and this is the net wrap that we use. Yay. It's always hard with the pallet forks because it's really hard to see. It really is. So I don't know if I've ever explained what the inoculant does. It's a product that we found a couple of years ago, and we weren't quite convinced that it was going to work and blah blah blah, and it is expensive, but what it does is it's like a preservative that you can spray through a tank system on your baler. And if your alfalfa is a little bit wet, which we do prefer to bale it up at about 18%. And so if it's a little bit wet like that, you spray it on there, and then you don't get mold in your bales. And it's like a citric acid of some sort, so it's not harmful to goats. And boy, I tell you what, if you've ever watched the videos of some of our alfalfa as we're pitching that out, then you know that it keeps it so nice and green and not moldy, because you know, when you put alfalfa that's 18 to 20% wet into a bale, if you don't put inoculant on it, then you're just asking for mold to grow in your bale, and mold's not good for any animal. Now, some people will ask, well, why don't you just wait for it to dry more? Well, alfalfa can go from 18-20% down to less than 10% dry in a matter of an hour. And once you get below like 12%, I think it is, the leaves just fall off. So what you're actually baling up is then just the sticks, and all of your leaves, which is where all the nutrients are, fall right on out, fall onto the ground. So with putting up the quality of alfalfa that we do, that's why we switched to using the inoculant. And we take down quite a bit of alfalfa every year. Okay, so we got the extra roll put in there. Now we're gonna go back out down to the farm. I'm probably gonna grab my side-by-side and make a round of the fence, and maybe go in and get some paperwork done at my other job. Okay. June 11th, and right now what we're doing is sorting off the does from their babies so we can wean the babies. I know, Butters, I'm sorry. Sorry, girl. I can't quite step out of the way as well as what I could. She thought. I'm so confused. Good girl. Okay, little one. Okay, little one. Good job, babies. Woo! I think we did too. Whew. It's tough on them, but I think that works better than putting them all in and trying to put them. Yeah. Some days it works better to put them all in, some days it doesn't. It all depends on the day. Delilah.
I guess doing it this way, they don't get so riled up.
Yeah, because when they're all in there, they rile each other up. So on this side. Looks like we might have gotten them all. That is a lot of kids. And inevitably, somebody finds a hole in a fence and they all get back in together and we do it all over again. But we try, which is why it's preferable to move them up to my brother's place, but we'll see. They all want to go out to pasture, but we have to wait until we load up those gals to go to Kentucky, and then we'll let these girls out. They're just about out of feed in here. That's how we kind of wanted to time it. Okay, so these guys will stay in here till we move the does out, and then they'll get the whole barn for probably 3 or 4 days. then we can let them out into paddocks. Yeah. Just gotta keep them fed. Okay. So here's a gentleman that's coming to pick up the goats to take them to their new owners in Kentucky. Okay, go goats! You guys got this. Look, fun! All right, say hi, girls. Say bye, girls. All right, there they go, off to their trip to their new home. Oh. Okay. So we're gonna leave the spring kids here in the barn for a couple of days until they stop crying for their moms. We'll probably work on either tomorrow or the next day. We'll deworm them. But boy, look at how big old Duke got. He's gonna miss his mommy. He's such a mama's boy. Aren't you, Duke? Whew, that is a lot of babies. So we freshly bedded everything down, and we've got water over there, their feed here, and their feed troughs, but it won't take but a week, and this won't be enough for them. So then we'll switch to something a little bit different. Oh, they look good. They'll look even better after we deworm them.
They look really bad coming out of the hay or grass.
Yeah.
You know, that's
It's a little much. It was a little much for them.
it was scouring